Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Communal polarization is not going to work in India anymore. This is what I believe. And what I am going to do in the next 15 minutes is I am going to try and put some evidences based on which I am making the statements. What I would urge you to do is, if you beg to differ with me or if you think what I am saying is correct, please write your opinion down. Let me know what you think, because this is a debate. It is my opinion and I could be wrong, I could be right. Tell me. But that's what I'm going to try and prove in the next 15 minutes. Let's get right into the show. Like I said, what I'm trying to prove is communal polarization will now recede. The impact of communal polarization on our election is going to come down. This is the point I'm making. I know I'm sticking my neck out to say this, but this is the point I'm making. And I'm going to give you a few evidences to put my point across, to prove my point. Like I told you earlier, please beg to differ, and if you do or if you support, write what you feel and let me know what you feel. So that's going to be very important. I urge you to do that. Coming back to my story. You see, let's take Karnataka as our case market, as our sample market. Let us do a behavioral analysis of Karnataka in the last 8 to 9 years. And then I will try and prove my point. Now, for starters, I think we'll all agree that Karnataka was won by Bharatiya Janata Party on communal lines. Point number one. Point number two. Most of the activities that happened and which got highlighted across the country were communal activities. For instance, BJP's Pratap Simha had threatened to demolish a bus stand in 2022, November 2022, saying that no, bus stand looks like a mosque. We were threatened to demolish it. We all know Hijab, Halal, Idgah Maidan, Tipu Sultan, beef economy, boycott of Muslims, Savarkar, all these has been flashpoints. So those were things that would come out from a state which once upon a time would talk about IT and technology and smart cities and so on and so forth. Wahan se all these were the points that came. Now, therefore, like last editorial I mentioned, I am repeating now. I am not therefore saying that भैया देखो कुछ नहीं हुआ है, सिर्फ ये ऐसा सब नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. I am not saying all that. But the point is, as a nation sitting in Mumbai, these were the points that I heard. These were the things that I read about Bangalore. These were the things that I read about Karnataka. That is the point I was making. Earlier on, when I used to read about Bangalore, I used to read about Karnataka, I used to read a lot of IT, I used to read a lot of companies coming in and setting up shop there. I used to read about a lot of more and more startups there. I used to read about a lot of youth getting into IT there. So that was what I knew Karnataka as. I have worked in Karnataka, as in I used to travel to Karnataka very often during my younger days. And this is what I found in Karnataka, and that has changed. Today, when one talks about Karnataka, when one views news about Karnataka, this is what one sees. One sees hijab, one sees halal, one sees Tipu Sultan, so on and so forth. So this is the difference. So Karnataka, elections were fought on communal polarization. ठीक है ना? So point number one. Point number two is the Bharatiya Janata Party Karnataka President Nalin Kumar Katil made a statement. What did Katil say? This was in January 2nd, just before the election. What did Katil say? Katil said that I am asking you people, don't speak about minor issues like road and sewage and all that. Mat baat karo. He said, if you are worried about your children's future and if you want to stop love jihad, then we need BJP for that. To get rid of love jihad, we need BJP. He says, do not talk about sewer, do not talk about roads, talk about love jihad. Point I am trying to prove that till January, even BJP wanted to continue to go the communal polarization route. January 2nd. Then opinion polls started coming up. Then the Karnataka election scenario started hotting up. That is when you understand voter mood. And when you start understanding an organization like Bharatiya Janata Party, which one should always give credit to them, because the way they understand elections and voting and voters' mood, they started realizing it is not working. It is not working, and possibly communal divide is harming them rather than helping them. Mood changed. B.S. Yediyurappa, in an interview to Indian Express, he said that Hindus and Muslims should live like brothers and sisters. And controversies around Hijab and Halal that has rocked Karnataka were unnecessary. B.S. Yediyurappa, the tallest leader of Bharatiya Janata Party, said it. Backtracked. B.S. Yediyurappa didn't say it when the Hijab and Halal issue were happening. He didn't say it. He said it today, which means this is an afterthought. Which means the point that I'm trying to say, that communal polarization is slowly receding. People are rejecting it. This is the point. Again, I will give you one more example. Just recently, I think it is yesterday, when Rahul Kanwal of India Today asked Bommai, CM of Karnataka, about the comment on Tipu Sultan, Halal, Hijab. He said in his reply, "You have started with your favorite topic. Rajdeep, और आपका favorite topic है ये. Without hijab and halal, the interview is not complete." I told Nagarjuna earlier also, I am not sure whether it is going to come. India Today hai, aaj ki baat karo. So everybody now, including Bommai, including B.S. Yediyurappa, tallest leaders of Karnataka, are now slowly pushing away communal polarization statements that polarize community. They are pushing it away. Now, why? Again, I'm trying to prove. Why are we saying that it is all happening now? People are rejecting it because these were the same people who were there when he was the chief minister of Karnataka when hijab and halal issue happened. Then he didn't say anything. Now he's saying it, which means then he was not aware that people are rejecting it. Now he's aware people are rejecting it. My point. Let me now see if this juxtaposes across the country. You know, there is a concept called Alfred Marshall's law of marginal utility. Alfred Marshall says that you eat one apple, you feel very good. You eat the second apple, your satisfaction level comes down because एक apple अब भी खाया है. Then you give in the third apple, satisfaction level comes down more. Then you give the fourth apple, satisfaction level goes to an extent where it will start going to negative. You will reject apple. You will say, नहीं मांगता apple यार, बस हो गया. ये क्या apple? Somewhere down the line, that seems to be working in India too. That's working in Karnataka. I want to believe, and I see no reason why it will not work in other states either. After a point in time, if you go on talking about communal polarization, continuously speak about Hindu Muslims, continuously speak about community, aren't people going to reject it? Number one. Number two, see, you are constantly been saying Hindu is danger, you know, if you want a safe future for your son. I want a safe future for my son or my daughter. But where is the safe future? Safe future is when you have IT companies, when you have big companies, when you have Fortune 500 companies in India. Safe future is when you have fantastic educational organizations in India. Safe future is when you have a brilliant opportunity, future for me in India. That is when safe future happens. That's where safe future happens. By saying Hindu-Muslim safe future is not going to happen. Most of the Hindus who had heard this out, who has been hearing this Hindu-Muslim thing for the last whatever decade, would be wondering today, कि यार ठीक है ये सब तो fine है. What did I get? Is my lifestyle better? Is my family better? Does my son or my daughter get a better opportunity in the future? This is what a Hindu is going to ask. बाकी सब तो ठीक है. So the fact is, this question of what have I actually achieved in the last 10 years and what am I going to achieve, what is my daughter, my son going to achieve in the future is going to be the question that people are going to ask. And I think in India, they have started asking. Karnataka for sure has started asking this question. I believe Maybe the gradation will be different. Maybe the way the impact has been lost, the percentage of loss of impact of communalization would be different in various states. वो मैं मानता हूँ. I agree to that. But what I want to say tonight is that there has been a definite decrease in the impact of polarization in this country, and Karnataka is a case in point. That's the point I wanted to make. Till I see you next time. That's tomorrow at 10 p.m. Namaskar.